Hello, welcome back to Martial Art Madness. I want to speak about an issue that I think is increasingly a problem on YouTube videos, and that is AI generated videos. I'm just to be candid, they suck. And there are several problems I just want to briefly go over. Now, I would like to say this idea of posting a YouTube video about AI content and YouTube videos and how bad they are is original to me, but it's not. I also have a motorcycle channel. It's not very big. I don't consider myself an influencer at all, especially in the motorcycle channel. But there are two people who discuss that topic over there. And I thought it was appropriate because I was having frustrations watching YouTube videos, and you get all this bait, and all of a sudden it's an AI driven video. But it's also a problem in the martial arts videos that I've noticed in the last year, particularly, as well as some historical, religious, and scientific videos that I have happened to watch. So I want to just briefly go through them and encourage everybody that watch real people and the content produced by real people, because the AI videos are actually pretty obvious and there's a lot of problems there. The first problem is accuracy of information. Now, us humans can make mistakes as well, and so does the AI videos. But the AI videos do this in two ways. One, they do it in their visual presentation. A few months ago, I actually watched an AI video on YouTube, not realizing it was until maybe about 3 minutes in it. I was still kind of new to that area, like, oh, okay, that might be interesting. And it was on Masuyama and Kyokushin Karate. Well, the guy kept mispronouncing Kyokushin Karate, and then they showed a picture of Taekwondo personnel with their Taekwondo tabokes, and acted as and spoke as if they were Kyokushin Karate practitioners. So that gives a visual representation that's wrong. Now, most of us in the martial arts would know, oh, something's wrong there. But if you are a young person, you may not know that. Or if you're a person who's new to the martial arts, you may not know that and mistake Taekwondo for Kyokushin. And therefore, it's really not a very good representation. It's visually wrong and incorrect. And we are visual creatures more so than we are hearing creatures. We get most of our information from seeing. So, like a dog gets most of their information from sniffing, we get most of ours in the visual realm. And that's very important because that influences what we hear. We create an expectation in our brain. So, that's one of the problems. The second problem is that there may be mispronunciation of words, or it will get factual data incorrect. Now, I may mispronounce words. I do it quite often. I have two conditions. I have a speech impediment. It doesn't come to fruition much more. I mean, by the age of 13, it was largely gone, but every once in a while it does. And when it does, there's not much I can do about it. When I was a college professor, I would practice every hour of lecture before I ever lectured. So there was a lot of prep time, particularly in the summers leading up to a fall semester, because there's sometimes I'd get to a word and I just can't pronounce it, or I didn't want to be caught off guard. Fortunately for me, it never happened in the Q&A because I always encourage discussions, and that was much easier for me. But I always prepared. But every once in a while, I'd be in a lecture and there'd be a word and like, oh no, I can't say that word. I can't get it out, and I have to quickly think of another word. So I had that. Plus, I have Bell palsy. So my right side has Bell palsy, and that's made my speech impediment a little bit worse as I've gotten older. I received this in September of 2021. However, when I have that problem, I can go ahead and re-edit and try to correct it, and try to make things better. The AI just mispronounces it altogether, and therefore you're setting potential people in discussions, consumers, having an idea and just saying things incorrectly all the time. The other thing is that none of this is self-correcting. So, for an example, in the last couple months, somebody had sent me a comment saying, "Hey, I had the wrong picture." Nicholas Pettis video I did many years ago. I put an Andy Hugh picture as the thumbnail. Didn't even realize it. Just kind of clicked and went on. I don't go back and watch most of my videos. I created it, go like, all right, there it goes, and then I go from it. Well, I went back and thank you. Went back and looked at it. Sure enough, I made the correction. Did it that day. I don't see all the comments. I keep a pretty busy life. I don't stay around my computer much. But when I see something, I can be corrected, and I'm glad when I'm corrected. An AI generated video and the person who's producing them, they don't care. Matter of fact, you can look at the comments, and a lot of people will say something that video will still be the same. There won't be any correction, or there won't be any context of what's going on. And this is why it's like that. So there's no self-correcting mechanism. It creates a false visible representation. It can illuminate on certain issues, but AI art is so noticeable. It's not that it's bad art, but is it really art? And if you think about art as something that's a human expression, I think art should try to reflect beauty and pursue that. So I'm not really into modern art. But anyways, it should be a human endeavor, not a computer endeavor. But you can really kind of see the computer endeavor involved here. And I think for martial arts, we are the physical expression of trying to pursue that beauty and truth. Therefore, we should probably be leery of AI generated or computer generated images. Now, obviously, I'm not opposed to technology. I'm on here, and for the first time, I put a background on this just to show that I like technology. I think technology is great. I'm glad I'm living in this time frame with all the advances we have. I think it's probably one of the best time frames that one could be alive as far as technology is concerned. Who knows what the future will bring after me? But I think we have to be careful, and we also have to be honest. Otherwise, we may just completely lose the human element. And I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's great. With all my flaws and all my problems and all my positive things and knowledge, and some of it's wrong and can be corrected, and I can grow and put myself out there, it's a good thing. And not everybody likes the content I make. But I'm a human being interacting with other human beings. And I think that's a great thing about the human life. I don't really want an AI generated video. Somebody puts in a code and then the AI brings it up and says, here's your movie. And I hope you don't either. I think they suck. I don't care for the artwork, generally speaking. Every once in a while I go like, oh, okay, that's neat. And I don't really care for the content. I found many inaccuracies. I've not tallied them up, but I've found many that I go, oh, that's inaccurate, and they're not inaccurate at small parts. When ChatGPT first came out, I typed in who won between Benny Urquidez and Rickson Gracie in the fight, and it said the fight took place in 1987, and Rickson Gracie ultimately won and gave me this whole story. And afterwards I said, no, it's not what happened. They never fought. And I gave more details that, at least that I know of, from knowing Alfred Urquidez and Black Belt Magazine at the time and other various people I've spoken to. And then it comes back, oh, you're right. Well, I went back to it 2 weeks later from a friend's computer to see if it corrected itself. And it did correct itself. But it just says, beware. Not everything in there is correct. And not everything will be correct. And it will have a bias. It will have a bias. I don't want to get into it in this channel, but I've asked it other things from a scholarly perspective, because I used to be a religion professor, a theologian, and it gets a lot of nuances wrong or just some factual things incorrect, and it hasn't self-corrected. So there are problems there, and I just like the human element. The other thing I want to speak about AI content and generated videos is you notice when you hit an AI video, oftentimes, not all, but oftentimes, and I've seen this really a lot in the historical videos, in the theology and scientific videos, and in some martial art videos, you'll see this tiny flickering snowball effect. That is actual system. VSS is basically visual snowfall syndrome. And that is a condition, a neurological condition where people actually see things that way. It's a rare condition, but it has been related to a higher rate of mental illness. The people who have that, most of them are normal, so I want to say that now, but they have higher rates of mental illness, particularly in narcissistic and psychopathic tendencies. Now, of course, most of them, I want to put the caveat, are okay. But it's and they have varying degrees of how bad that is. But it is a condition. It bothers me that the couple times I've looked at it, I thought, boy, would that be irritating after a while? And that would be irritating. And younger people having that effect, I think, can get a real distortion in reality. I'm not a psychologist by any means. I don't know if there is a long-term effect, but I find it a little bit disturbing because it's not what we're meant to see. It's not how we're meant to see. And we are basically taking our brains and we're looking through something that is actually an abnormal condition. because we don't see with our eyes. We actually see back here with the back of our brain. Our eyes is just a lens. It just takes light and particles and it goes in there and puts it together. That's why when you sleep, you see. When you dream, right? When you go to sleep, you dream. You're still seeing because it's the brain that sees. The eye is a lens. And there's obviously a disconnect, and I don't think it'll create a neurological condition. I don't know if there will be any data on that, but I think it is problematic that it's kind of representation of VSS, which is a neurological condition, and that's not a good thing. So those are my criticisms. So I think they suck. I'm encouraging people not to watch them. How YouTube works is if you go beyond a certain amount of time, those type of videos actually gain more views, and they get put up on the algorithm, and they become the first ones up, and that's why people are seeing them. They go, oh, that looks neat, and it's a novelty right now, and it looks neat to people. But I think overall the information is wrong most of the time, or often. It gets a lot of things right, but some particular points it gets wrong, and it does it not only in the voice, in the ears, but also does it through its visual representation. How we as humans gather most of our information is that way. And as we are more of a visual culture than an oral culture, like our ancients were, we set up an expectation so our visual representation will outweigh what we hear. Even what we're hearing is correct and the visual is wrong, we will tend to lean towards the visual representation. So in any case, that's my video for today. I'm not requesting a boycott, just telling people, please, if you're a martial artist and you want real human interaction, then please watch real human interaction videos for your information. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate the people who watch my videos. I don't have a big channel. I've never been looking to get a big channel or be an influencer. I don't think I am an influencer. I only have 2,900 people. But it's something that's been weighing on me a little bit. And I was glad to see someone speak up in the motorcycle community because I don't like it there. And I don't like it in the martial art videos as well. So thank you all very much. Have a blessed day and keep on kicking. Thanks.